All right, what's up, guys? Coming at you with another recording here. Gonna talk about the listing framework you need to have for your Amazon images. So, every time I talk to a brand that's thinking about entering into Amazon, or maybe I'm already talking with a brand that's on Amazon, first thing I always do is I always take a look at their listing because that's where all the action happens, right? And most times they usually get the listing images wrong. There's a lot of things they missed, hence it's why it kills conversions, right? Hence it's why it's just not working as well as they wanted to. So I'm going to share with you my 8-figure listing framework. This is the one that we use for all our clients, right? So every time we work with a brand, I always have a creative strategy consulting call with them, and I go through this exact framework with them every single time. So for you, it's yours. Steal it, learn from me, right? Everything is here, all 8 years of experience. I've audited over 1,000 Amazon listings at this point easily. So everything I've compiled here, it's for you. All right. So let's go into it. So first off, some things you need is your images have to be 2000 by 2000 pixels. This is literally the Amazon sweet spot. Anything more or less and your images won't come out perfectly. Next, you want your images to be mobile first. So most brands automatically get this wrong, right? 85% of Amazon shoppers actually discover your product first through a cell phone, through the Amazon app. And then about half of them make the purchase through a laptop or a computer, right? So you have to make sure that your images are designed for a 7-8 inch screen. So what you can do by this is just making less text. If you have to add text, just make sure it's big. It's very easy to read text. Infographics work extremely well in this case, right? Images, signs, and everything, just because it's very easy for a customer to read it and understand it. The whole trick here is you do not want to create friction for them because, as you know, Amazon customers are very spoiled. They're a spoiled bunch. If they see something they don't like, they can click away from your listing to another competitor. Next, you want to take up as much space as you can. Do not waste valuable real estate space, right? So I notice a lot of brands try to stick within the boundaries of what Amazon tells them. This isn't true, right? You can actually get as aggressive as you want with your images. If it's not approved, Amazon's not going to suspend you. They're not going to ban you. They're not going to do any of that stuff, okay? All they're going to do is just say, hey, your image isn't allowed to be uploaded. Then all you have to do is just go into Canva or Photoshop, just do a slight re-edit, and then just keep re-uploading it, right? Amazon thinks it's a completely brand new image after. Keep doing this until it gets approved. All right, so let's move on here. So in terms of images, right, you actually have 6 images, and then it leads to the listing video. So your first one is your hero image. This is literally where 80% of your effort goes into. This is what customers are going to see. This is when you run ads, this is what customers will see as well. Video ads, anything. This image is where all your effort should go into. So, in my opinion, what usually works is having your product first off 2000 by 2000, and you want to have at least 15% of your image as white space. So, one of Amazon's requirements for your main image is that it needs to be on a white background. But how much white background do you want? Well, that's the part where we can actually help take advantage of it, right? You want to actually have about 15% white space just to let Amazon know I'm still following your guidelines. Too many brands leave too much white space. And in my opinion, once again, that's wasted real estate space, right? Next, you really want to make it look perfect. So, a great way to do it is 3D render your product. That's a really fantastic way. Apple does it, all the jewelry brands like Cartier, Van Cleef Arpels, everyone 3D renders a product. Why? Because you want it to make it look as aesthetically beautiful as possible. Next, if you have packaging, please add it to your image, right? Usually on the left side or behind the product. This creates a better customer experience. We all have those cases where we ordered a product on Amazon, we were excited getting it, and it came in, like an ugly looking clear plastic bag, right? Automatically, we make it believe it's really cheap and might be a product from China, right? So show a packaging if you have one. Let them know like, hey, this is what you're gonna get, because as you know, when they see your product and they unbox it, that's the next biggest touch point in the customer's journey. So very important. And then finally, you want to add supporting images that could help you stand apart from the crowd, right? Once again, get aggressive. Amazon isn't going to ban you. So for example, I'm just going to go back here. Just really good examples like Rise is a supplement brand. They added literally stock images of fruits around it. They added the liquid splashing around. They even added the Kool-Aid guy right to the bottom left. Is that allowed? No, but they got away with it, right? And that's kind of all that matters. Another one is one of our clients, Kind Laundry, right? It's a laundry detergent sheet brand. At first it was just a box, but we said let's add detergent sheets on both sides, kind of fan out, give it the image a little more depth. They also make their product with coconut oil and meadow seed foam oil, so we just got the stock images of it. So you want to add around 2 to 3 additional elements relating to your product. That's usually the sweet spot. You don't want to add too much, because if you add too much, it just becomes too messy, very hard to look at, right? So usually 2 to 3 elements is what I would stick to. All right, image 2, social proofing. So customers want to know if your brand is legit or if you're just a random phantom brand, meaning that you just created an Amazon brand literally out of the blue. No one knows who you are. So social proofing is so important here. This provides immediate reassurance. A lot of Amazon customers right now know a lot of brands on Amazon are actually, Chinese selling brands, and there's a bit of a stigma around this. So what we do is we usually tell our clients add social proof on here, because what happens is that a lot of Chinese brands don't use PR or social proof. That's just not in their playbook. I don't know why, it's their loss. So what you can do here is that if you have a lot of PR features, you can go click featured on, and then you can basically show all of, the articles and essentially the publications that you're featured in. Now, if you only have one or maybe 2 or 3, what I would recommend is the image on the right. Choose your best one, have your product on one side, and say as seen in, and then choose your best publication. And then even big bonus too, if you can even get a quote from that article and even add the person's name who wrote it, that would be absolutely huge. This is basically just letting them know like, hey, you may not have heard of me, but if you Google me outside, I'm actually everywhere, right? So reviews don't hold as much as weight due to there is a lot of fake reviews on Amazon. Don't get me wrong, that is still a big part of it. So you want to make sure you have PR there to let them know that you are actually an accredited brand, you're legit, you didn't just spin up overnight, okay? So that's that. Now, image 3 is what I'll say is your core feature. So this is where you tell your customer right here and now why your product is the best and deserves to be bought. Every time I get on a call with a new brand that we onboard, I always ask them, in 5 seconds right now, tell me why your brand is better than the rest. And I'll be very honest with you, most of them can't give me a good explanation, right? Like, what makes your product better? What secret sauce? Do you have a technology? What do you have in there that your other competitors don't, right? So here's a way to get around this, right? One of our clients, Night Buddy. So if they, this right here, headband lamp types of product, are they the first one? No, they're not the first one. So what we did was we literally just said 5 times brighter than competitors, right? We listed the features. Is it really debatable? Are they 5 times brighter? It's very hard to prove it, right? But if we can make a bold claim like that, it draws and it captures the attention here, right? Another thing too is if you have a proprietary formula, if you have a technology inside your product, ones that competitors and copycats can't easily mimic and steal, use that, right? For example, our formulation, helps you lose weight, 20% in 20 days, something like that, right? A claim that you can actually back up, because that is what makes your product stand out. What is it that sets you apart from competitors? Right here, right now, your single most important feature to the benefit, added here. Next is image 4, supporting features. This is kind of where you show all the other additional benefits that your product has, right? Bonus if they even complement your main feature. So, in this case, you want to do either 2 of the versions. You want to do an infographic, once again, mobile optimized, right? Make signs, make, easy to show where the products are, what it does for you. That's a great way. Now, another way that works extremely well is us versus them. I actually like us versus them right now. I think it actually is performing better than infographics, and because it's just so clearly defined, right? Here's why our product is better than the competitors. Here's all the stuff we have, and here's all the stuff they don't have. Very simple of a comparison photo. You don't have to explain the image of like what it does, what it's trying to tell. This literally right here tells everything. Just make sure when you upload an image of your competitor, make sure their logo and their brand name is not appearing there. You can't add that in, otherwise Amazon's going to suspend you. All right. Image 5. Now, in my opinion, UGC, user-generated content, very underrated strategy. I mean, if you're talking about Shopify stores, it's everywhere, right? On websites, on ads, it's on everywhere, on TikTok. I don't know why, but still a lot of sellers are not taking advantage of UGC here. This is amazing here, just a UGC collage This works extremely well. Keep it raw and authentic. And as you know, with UGC, it just conveys a lot of trust, relatability, and it's personal. Too many Amazon brands try to use like models, stock models, to showcase the product. That doesn't work anymore, right? UGC is crushing it on Amazon. So, finally, image 6. In my opinion, right now, what's working super well is a founder story. So, if you have a brand and you're the founder, maybe consider you might want to put yourself out there, right? You know, like, hey, my name is this. I started this company because of this, right? This creates a more intimate relationship, and believe it or not, Amazon customers actually want to know like who's behind this brand. Okay, fine, you know, I found this brand on Amazon, they have some PR, but who's actually behind it, right? There's a lot of big companies out there where they either have a brand ambassador or the founders are always there making content, making ads, doing interviews, right? So really consider this. What I recommend is having a founder's photo, professional or either in like a lifestyle setting, and just have a statement of, you know, why you made the brand. What are you trying to solve, right? Once again, once you do this, this actually unlocks a lot of things for you. You can now start making content because you have put yourself out there. You can make content for your socials, you can make content for your Facebook ads, and more importantly too, you can start making content for Amazon video ads. Once again, I'm only seeing a handful of brands do this right now where they're running a video ad where it's the founder in the beginning, and as they explain the product, the story, the benefits, right? There's a B-roll that comes into it with UGC B-roll content. That is working so well right now. We're seeing very high ROAS across the board with that kind of stuff just because a lot of brands aren't taking advantage of it. So that's what I would really consider it as. So these are the 6 images that you really need to focus on here. Once you have these 6 images, this is essentially the 8-figure listing framework, right? People go through image 1 to image 6. If they love what they see, then they're going to move to your copy, and then finally they'll go scroll down and look at the reviews. That's usually how Amazon customers behave when they come to your listing. So hopefully you found this insightful, and if you guys have any questions, just feel free to DM me. My DMs are always open. If you need some help with your Amazon listing or your brand that's thinking of getting onto Amazon, hit me up. Always here to help. Hopefully you found this insightful. Cheers, guys.